Greetings, love, peace. We should live in interesting times, eh? So much going on this planet. Yeah. Afia.
I have some background noise, but I really would like to sit a
Beautiful,
moment.
beautiful sounds. It's beautiful to see you getting more and more vulnerable, Afia. It's
Feels like trembling, like, but also still. I really don't want any discussions, but I'm recovering from the corona virus, and it was quite a huge. It took me quite big, like with my breath went away for a bit, and big pressure on my chest, and but I also feel now I'm recovering. It feels like some transformation on a bigger level, on a energetic level. Something feels finer, and I think it's with every illness. You know, you can get this. But I do feel really shaky a bit, and yeah.
Yeah, how I feel very invited to be present with you in that shakiness. That's like, and
Nice.
it feels honest, it feels naked. I feel, yeah. And so it's a privilege to be with you in that shaking, just here.
Oh, it's nice that you say that.
Do you know where you caught it?
It could be like a piano student, like a kid, or something like that. But actually, I don't know. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One other, just a thought. Do you live near? I mean, the world's being blanketed by this 5G, and some people of systems are very sensitive to it, and they come up with corona symptoms from the 5G. I mean, I'm just telling you what I'm seeing experts saying. Yeah.
Well, I really had like that I didn't smell and I didn't taste things, and it was quite clear. Yeah.
So let's just surf this together for a little bit. You're not alone in it. Everybody here is welcome to tune in. Just receiving the intelligence of this corona, if it is that. Yeah?
Yeah, what I also noticed is that the symptoms of this virus, I never had any problems with my breath, and so that like now for the first time in my life, that the symptoms are so close to fear. So when people, that does something too. Like when the symptoms are here with the less breath, and yeah, it's quite amazing how much it took to stay put. Just
Yeah.
So that's also collectively going on.
Yeah.
Not only psychological, but also the physical.
I understand. I get it.
And right now it feels like I'm coming in tune with something finer that I don't register yet. For like I don't know, as if I cannot feel yet. Yeah, you understand?
Very much. It's like, I don't know if over the course of the last little while you listened to any of Zach Bush's talks, but he sees it from a completely different perspective. He just says our body's made up of viruses and bacteria. It's like these different information packages that come through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it feels.
Yeah.
Like new information, and I'm not sure yet what it is or how to sense it, feels really open and unknown, and
Yeah.
like a lot of old things don't work anymore. that's how that's how I sense it. Like, yeah. And it feels less solid and more able to be less solid, something like that.
Yeah, beautiful. Wow.
Like,
Yeah,
okay,
beautiful description. Yeah. Yeah.
let's go trembling through life, something like that. Or, really nice that you want to sit with me.
Exquisite. It's absolutely, yeah, from my side, it just feels love flowing sweetly, and I can surf the subtleties of sensation in you very easily. And your system can, yeah, yeah, it meets me in that surfing. It's just, I find it beautiful.
Yeah, it's like this connection, that yeah.
In one way, it feels like I'm getting the benefit of getting the information of the corona without having to have it. So
Great. I love that. I
thank you.
can transmit the corona now. Yay.
And you know, corona comes from crown, yeah?
Yeah. Mm, yeah. Dat zo dicht doen. Thank you, sweet Isaac, and all of you.
Hello. Ja, ik kan het jij. Ciao.
Ciao.
Did any of you feel like you could pick up the information of the corona without having to get it? Some of you felt that. It was very, wow, I love the transmission actually. It's deep and beautiful. What is?
Hi, Isaac.
Hi.
Since our last sitting together a few days ago, it's been a very intense ride around indecision and strong contraction in the body around that. Not knowing where to go, what to do. It's still quite intense in the body.
Yeah. You know, I'll come back to explore the sensations with you, but like when we don't get a clear direction, best just to sit still and not trouble your mind with it. It'll show you when it's right.
The problem was that the place I was so cold that my body felt so uncomfortable, and
okay,
so I needed to move.
So that was a direction then.
Yeah, but then I ended up in the weirdest places and changing routes and going north and going south and canceling a reservation and being canceled on a reservation, and it was just wild.
Yeah. Oh. And yeah, you are. Yeah. So you're in a more comfortable place now?
Yeah, it has a very comfortable bed, and that's why I'm staying another night.
Okay.
It doesn't really have a window, so it's not really a place
You want to stay a long time, yeah. So you have a few hours before another movement has to happen.
No, I have one more night before another movement has to happen.
Yeah, that's a few hours, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's few hours. Okay, yeah. Yes.
and is it okay for the majority of those hours not to know and not to trouble yourself with knowing what to do next?
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting used to, like, the last 2 days I would have to check out around 10 a.m. and then I would spend maybe 3-4 hours sitting in my car, not moving and not knowing, and just sensing just all that stuff that came up. But
Yeah.
and then at some point I had to move, and I would just drive in some direction, and then so something happens, right? So
Yeah.
then my battery died, and I had to get some Italians to push my car because I was standing too long and charging my phone at the same time.
Yeah. Adventures, huh?
Yeah.
You know, a story from Papaji. Like what was common with him was he would go to the train station, and in his mind he was going somewhere, Rishikesh or somewhere, and then to get to the train station he'd just jump on a train going someplace completely different, at random, just and then he'd get to that place and bump into someone that had this huge awakening, just and so he lived his life like that in a way. It was just no looking somehow, you know, like one time when I was in Lucknow, I always would take whole grain, multi-grain porridge there just to have something nutritious, you know, for not only the Indian stuff. So when I was there, going there for a little bit longer so that I could, you know, we could keep up our resiliency and stuff. So one time we hadn't managed to finish the porridge and I stuck it in the fridge. And the next morning I tasted it. It tasted a little bit sour. And in South Africa, they make sour porridge. And I thought, oh, okay, well, this will be sour porridge then. And so I added more grains to it. I cooked it for a long time just because that sourness was, I just wanted to make sure. And we all ate it and it was delicious. And then there were about 8 of us sitting in the house, and all of a sudden, everybody was running for a bathroom. We were all sick, completely sick. And there's a knock on the door, and I kind of go and answer it, and Papaji's at the front door. And he never visited, you know, like, was just. And I said, oh, you're welcome to come in. We were all really sick. And he said, oh, that's why I had to come here. Yeah. No, you're just there, sitting in the car until it dies and then going somewhere. Who knows what it's good for, hey?
Yeah. Like, I mean, I can see the mind. There's some strong, seemingly strong pattern in the mind of. I can see two things playing. One is like having fear of not being at a safe place, and the body not feeling safe. And my body I was sick all the time, so I had diarrhea, and I felt like I needed a place to, you know, just to relax. And then the other thing is like this idea of that's one thing that's a future thing, like one thing is better, and there I will be happy, and there I will be happy. But if, you know, and then the whole projection thing goes on, like
Yeah. You speak beautifully, so you could just watch all that. What an opportunity.
if it wasn't so crazy uncomfortable in the body, yeah.
So let's sit with that and discomfort, whatever's left to it. And the body's feeling a little bit better in terms of the diarrhea and the feeling sick.
A little bit better already, yeah. I had the first proper meal last night, and it's not over, but it's better, yeah.
Better, yeah. And still in the midst of it, we can meet like this, yeah. So whatever's left of that discomfort, just welcoming, just giving it, letting it have as much space as it wants. And as you have presence here, just what do you notice, if anything?
I notice an intensification of, or like a, maybe I just sense it more clearly, that tension in the body.
Mm. And is it possible to sense it without trying to change it or fix it, and just gently noticing, or does it move immediately into wanting to change it?
Not so strongly. No, there's a, yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. So, yeah.
Hope you didn't actually pick up the corona now.
No, I picked up the capacity to swallow a bit of my tea down the wrong pipe. I mean, it's so amazing, you know, when you look at consciousness and how it functions in a way. It's like, you know, people can walk over red hot coals and not get burnt, or, you know, or die if someone just points a bone at them. How strong our, you could say, belief is and all that stuff in us. And so, you know, it's like, I remember in the early days of HIV, when people were told they had HIV, they would just die within few months. They were gone. And now I know quite a few people that have had HIV for 30, 40 years and they're not dying. They have a different idea about it. And they live quite well and they're not sick or anything. They just, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's,
So how do we change such a belief? I mean,
it's a big question, you know, it's like, I guess, you know, like slowly, like we're doing, just watching where there's something playing, you know, it's like, you know, like, for example, the difference is I'm sick, or, oh, this is my body's healthy response to cleaning out. It's actually a healthy response. You know, it's a different paradigm, a different way of looking at it, yeah.
mm-hmm. And is it then also repetition? I mean, if we repeatedly look at it, at something in a different way, then also is there an eroding happening also of a belief?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it's interesting just to feel, oh, this is a healthy response of the body to something that it needs to clean out, or I'm sick, and just feel like just trying those two different perspectives on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just to play and experiment and see for yourself. You know, I don't think it's particularly a doing. It's just like, oh wow, that's, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you know, similarly, like I should know what I'm going to do next, and I just don't have a clue. And it's okay. Yeah, it's like, it's a very different response of the tissue to I should know, and, you know, there's something wrong with me. Oh wow. It's just playing in a way. It's just like seeing that there's so many habits of filters that like are automatic and so familiar that, yeah, just our systems go there, you could say, like that, without. And then that's the beauty of sitting together, because we can explore different pathways, different possibilities, and which opens up that, you know, that sense that none of it is personal. It's just, yeah, certain filter happens and things look a certain way for a bit, and then they don't look that way anymore.
And then it's like gone as as it would have never happened. It's
Happened, yeah. That's what's so amazing. Yeah. How is it now?
Feels something starts to move a bit more easy.
Oh, I'm happy to hear.
What do you
didn't.
sense?
Yeah, that's what I sensed. A smile came on my face, and I could see greater ease happening, and it just came by itself. Yeah. Cool, man.
Yeah, thank you, Isaac. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice. Yeah, wonderful.
Good morning, Isaac.
Dirk,
Yeah,
I see you. Yeah,
yeah, good to see you.
yeah, good to see you too.
spoke these days about the sensations of the body, sensations of the mind.
Hmm.
But it's sometimes so hard to ignore the sensations of the mind, the voices of, oh, this is boring, there's a lot to do, there must be more in life. Just leave them, and then the second row starts, the criticism about myself. You're dull, you have to do this, you have to do that.
You know, what I found, Dirk, and maybe it's useful for you, but it's like when there's even a subtle discomfort that gives that movement of mind, that's the fuel for that movement of the mind. So the thoughts that come and all that, those, yeah, they actually not the root. They, you know, it's like, so the root is underneath that is just somewhere this a sense of not being at ease, and then that those movements come. So when we're resting here together now, and we just, yeah, and okay, whatever sensations are here, they can be here, and we just gently giving them as much space in the body as they need, because there's an automatic when there's some discomfort that our body tries to contain it so that we can stay functional. And, you know, so it's like we're in the noticing of that, I would say, very natural tendency, and just seeing, okay, wait, now I don't need to function. I'm happy to just explore and let those sensations free, and just see what happens. You know, like an experiment, just playing and seeing, okay, what. And noticing if when the sensations have more space, if there's more thought or less thought or the same amount, whatever. So we just experimenting and seeing, okay, well, if something gets quieter or it gets noisier, who knows? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I know, that when one thought is coming, and I pay a little bit attention to it, more thoughts are coming and more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And but I can stop that at that point. So, okay, leave them. And
Mm-hmm.
there they are again. They try to help me, and I'm not
Yeah.
going to solve it.
Yeah, beautiful.
Then it is okay.
Yeah. 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 And I love when, you know, like how the system can speed up and it troubles us, and then when it finally just lets go and everything is fine and all is well, and you just know all is so well. And, yeah, it's so beautiful then, you know, because it's just like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they're the magic words always well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing has to be done. And,
nothing has to be done. This great intelligence is moving every atom, every bacteria, everything. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah. Hmm. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dirk. Yes. Mm.
Isaac.
Najma.
Hi.
I see you. Can you see me?
Yes. See you. I
Great.
hear you.
Perfect.
Okay. Can I share something, Isaac?
Yeah, with pleasure.
Yeah. I want again someone to share my life with.
Mm-hmm.
So I was on a dating site, and then some connection seemed to happen. But after 10 days, when we were about to meet, he told me he was on chemo and he was actually not in a condition to meet anybody because his immune system was very fragile.
Fragile, yeah.
Yeah, and then I felt also disappointed and an anger that he hadn't shared that before. And but after hearing Dirk talking, I felt a deep sense of disappointment, but I couldn't really feel it. So I have this pattern of not freeze, but to flight, to feeling it underneath, and so I thought
beautifully spoken. Yeah.
and
You know,
feels
and
like
I understand, within that movement of oh, maybe this can be fun and I'm going to have a companion. And the
Yeah.
system gets excited, and then, you know, the next bit of information comes and you go, oh, and you notice that, you know, something had crept in and already was projecting into the future and all that stuff. But in the meantime, you had the fun. There was some kind of fun around it. Oh, excitement. And
Yeah.
yeah, so, but yeah, then the other side is, oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, you know, like from his perspective, wow, he sees a woman that's deep and you know that, yeah, he's grateful for some screen time sharing with, you know, and then but recognizing then at some point that he's overjumped himself and he can't meet someone right now.
Mm.
So you touched him and probably gave him something in the time when he needed it. Yeah.
But there is something about them wanting to connect with this disappointment, and yet you see this walking away or eating more or restlessness or Netflix or whatever.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
I'd say, you know, to just focus on the disappointment might be useful, but also just to notice how the disappointment is relational to where hope sprang in, or, you know, like it's part of a whole mechanism. So
Yeah.
just, yeah, just okay. So, you know, understandable. There's a response and starts to look, oh, we're actually going to meet. Wow, there's some excitement. Oh. And then, oh, it's not happening. Oh, disappointment. You know, it's a cycle. It's like, I mean, I know it in myself a million times. Yeah.
Yeah, and it touches on a very deep disappointment. Oh, my computer is,
Yeah.
I need to put the battery in.
Yeah, and just to see, it's not wrong. It's not bad. It's just, you know, it's just life.
Yeah, but it's the
A
last.
wanting comes up. It starts with that wanting, yeah.
Yeah, but
In
it
deep sleep.
touches on this very old.
Yeah.
When I was 30, all my high school friends had partners and children, and I lagged behind in that. And then I
Yeah.
came into the Osho movement, and I suddenly had a boyfriend and another boyfriend, and I felt very alive. But the last
Yeah.
10 years, or 5 or 7 years, there's a trying to, yeah.
Find it again. Yeah. Yeah. So.
And every time it's short and something, or weird man, or I don't know. And I thought maybe this
Yeah.
is the last weird man. Or weird, he wasn't weird, but he was, I could feel with him also. But
Yeah.
I just like to share. It's good to.
Yeah, I get it. I get the whole picture. And just, you know, that movement. Oh yeah, that's the solution. Going for it and then it not working. Oh shit. Yeah. But that's why I say to just focus on the disappointment. It's a complete movement, yeah. So just like, you know, watching the whole movement and going, oh yeah. It's a beautiful movement, you know. This mind tells you, oh, I'll be happier if I find someone to have time with, and hope comes up, and maybe this is the one. And, I mean, all the little, it's sweet. It's so sweet, yeah. It's just like, oh. And then just coming back to this moment, yeah? And no hope, no hopelessness, no appointment, no disappointment, just here, resting together, feeling how our nervous systems, there's a flow of information. Nothing to fix, nothing to change. And it doesn't mean that the wanting will never come up again. Going for the want will never come up again. It doesn't mean anything. It just, you see it, you see the cycle for what it is.
Yeah, I see the relaxing in the solar plexus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah. Lower.
You know, we can also just put it on gallery view for a moment and check in with the Sangha. How many people know this movement of wanting and then it doesn't happen? It seems like there's a few of us that know it. It seems to belong to the human domain. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Okay, I'm coming back to you again. But I lost you somewhere. Oh, there you are. Yeah. And you see when everybody raises their hand, how personal is that movement? It's such a, you know, it's generic. It just plays the same in all of us. And
yeah, now some energy flows through to my head.
beautiful. Yeah. So the sweet humanness that keeps imagining what it is that will make us happy. Such a sweet human quality. Sure. You know, this interest in and capacity to savor the moment has not really been much part of our culture. So
that's happening now.
How nice is that? Yeah. And if you do meet a man and you're savoring the moment already, then it's just a nice addiction. Your happiness isn't dependent on it. But anyway, might have to play that same dynamic a few more thousand times. Who knows how many more? But you know what it is.
Thank you, Isaac.
Well, thanks. Yeah.
Hi, Isaac. Can I sit with you?
With pleasure.
Did you find me?
I found you.
Okay. My voice is not so good. I have also a virus, but it's only the throat, so
Okay.
we can sit in silence.
Okay. Yeah, good. And just welcoming. Just, yeah, okay. It's like this information that you're calling a virus, whatever it is, just.
It feels beautiful, even with a virus.
Mhm. Mm.
The
If
way,
you
yes.
if you had to speak in terms of frequency, the frequency of the beauty meeting the frequency of this virus, and just seeing how they dance together, the subtle difference between this, oh, I'm not feeling well, and a little bit of wanting it to be different, and then just in really enjoying and that meeting that frequency of what we're calling a virus, yeah, and just seeing, what do you notice in that?
What I notice is that it's just playing and loving and dancing with it. Yeah.
Yeah, fun. Yeah.
And
And with like one day in the dying process, we'll
oh,
have
I
enough
don't hear
experience
you.
with it. So Okay, so with luck, can you hear me now?
Yes, you're back. Yes.
Okay, so with luck, because we've explored this enough while we've been alive in the dying process, it'll be the same thing. It's just like, oh, wow, look, this is the border. This is like, oh,
Yes, but there's a huge fear around it in my city. It's not so much fun.
I think it would be, well, what an adventure.
Yes.
Oh, shit, I forgot to pay the milkman.
Yeah.
Oh, I had one. Now I'm in the middle of a series. Oh, I wonder how that ends.
The grounding, is it also endless?
Yeah.
So you can't say, now I'm there, now I'm fully grounded.
I don't think it's like that. I think it's, it keeps, everything keeps deepening. There's an interest, so we keep exploring, learning, playing, and just. I mean, these movements that have been troubling man, womankind forever, yeah? And then we present them and they start to just integrate.
Thank you, Isaac.
Yeah, with Mercury in retrograde, I was just noticing that every movement that where there's a wanting something to move, and it meets this resistance of Mercury in retrograde or whatever that resistance is, and it's on so many different little funny things, and then this frustration comes. Oh man, it's like, okay, wow. Especially dealing with bureaucracy, man. Okay, and you see, it's like something new, something new, I would say, thinks that's so stupid, and it doesn't like it, and then upset happens, the frustration. Okay, well, what is that? Okay. Sounds silly.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Ciao. Hey, Michael. There's a little on the left bottom of your screen. You need to unmute yourself, Michael, if you want to talk. Yeah. Yeah, perfect.
Okay. I want to sit, but at first I want a little bit to speak. It's a big discharging going on at the moment. And yesterday evening, I'm coming from a planned pilgrimage from Italy. I want to go from Florence to Assisi, 260 kilometers to be out of the craziness of and going into the nature and after 2 days my feet had another idea.
Oh, fuck.
And
Okay.
I had to stop and I was 6 days in Assisi
Okay.
there, and it's the first time that I saw people with masks all over the day in nature and everywhere. And yesterday, 12 hours in train, and if you don't wear a mask, they drop you out.
Wow.
And it's a real pilgrimage. And I was with the most best friend of mine. She brings me to you. It's the first time that I see Ansu lots of hours in mask. One of my deep beloved. And yesterday evening in the night, I came in. I got 2 hours into nature. In order I have a right to breathe. I have a right to breathe fresh air. And there is such a longing coming up of being sensitive and being in tantric relationship. It was just a deep longing, really, to meet with the soul and physically. It's unbelievable that it's rising up. And Franciscus, when you lie on the bed, he said there was in this time it was social distancing. They've lepra, and they have a ring. And when they come to the cities, everyone is going away. And what he did is he didn't know it. He embraced this guy, and this was the most challenging thing he ever had. Really to embrace deeply. And so wonderful to see you without mask and see you really, really, really deeply into contact.
On a purely practical level, Michael, I'm not sure how it is, but in many countries you can go to a doctor and tell them that you can't wear a mask. You need a medical exemption.
No,
no,
I have it.
Okay.
And I speak to, when I come in the morning, I phoned her up, and because she said to me, Michael, is everything okay? But I get difficulties with if you, in Germany now, it's the point that the government comes to the doctors who fill out papers that you don't wear a mask, that you lose your approbation. Yeah, and okay, but she said, really look how you wear a mask or wear not. And yesterday evening and the morning, I'm really at the edge to say I have this paper in my pocket, and I really look where I can be without mask or with mask. And in the morning, I really have the feeling no mask anymore, no mask anymore. But it was the rage. I feel the rage.
I understand.
Yeah, and it's good, but it is discharge going on. But I'm feeling how, in a way, I was holding in a between consciousness and unconsciousness. It's very, very delicate to go out and don't feel it anymore, and to feel it and be upset, or be in a big state where can you really be in stillness and really and be quiet with it.
I understand.
And I was going into some churches and in order to really be still, but it's very interesting. It's not going, and the only thing that comes is my bodily reminding of being in the Sangha with you and the others, to be really, really present with our bodies in presence. And this is holding me really the days. And therefore I was so glad to see, oh, it's 11, I'm now back in Germany, well, I will join.
Oh, fantastic.
This is I want to say, and just I want to sit 1 minute or two in silence with you all.
Absolutely. Yeah, with pleasure.
I'm so I'm feeling it's open. It's opening up deeply.
One thing that I think can be useful for the Sangha to explore is no matter which country you live in, there's a whole bunch of rules and regulations and stuff that we've kind of grown up with and we used to. And, we can, but it's a funny kind of a thing, to live within all these rules that have behind them, if you don't follow, there's violence, there's threat. And we take it for granted, yeah? We're used to it. It's accepted. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean, Michael?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, in a way, it's been normalized. We made it normal.
Yes.
And so now it's gone extreme, and we're watching, whoa, wait a second, this is over the edge for some of us. And but for some people, oh no, it's okay, the government knows best. This is okay.
Yes,
But-
and there is a part in myself who is, there is so much pain to see this
Oh.
really that is it's really incredible to notice how mankind can be, that is really turned around 260 degrees.
Mm.
And,
Fear-based,
and
yeah.
and deeply between astonishment and love, and so it's hardly, sometimes I have really no words in it.
Mm-hmm.
And so
You
there is a big thing in order. Gangaji wrote a book of to be compassion or to have a clear focus in order to do something. And so I'm shifting so deeply in this of letting go or getting an impulse to really to say something or to act.
Yeah.
And the deep, this pendulation is getting deeper and deeper in myself at the feeling in this time.
It's not the first time humanity has gone through like craziness, true great craziness. Like, for example, I mean, the Second World War, but also when any woman that was feminine or who knew herbs was burnt as a witch. Can you imagine the mindset where someone could come and take your wife or your daughter or your sister or your mother, accuse them, you're a witch, and you will be burned. It's kind of, you're watching something that's played many times within the human domain, yeah? So it's this kind of consciousness that gives itself the right to be a bully, to be, yeah.
And this is a good thing that you said. This sentence, this is really, really good. That consciousness has the capacity to lead us to whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so that exists in consciousness, we're seeing it. And we're seeing where something in us responds to it from a place of activation.
Yeah.
And from a place of wrong and right and good and bad. And then inviting us to go deeper with it. Okay, wow, this is played in consciousness forever, this is not new. It's getting extreme at the moment. But then, it's like, wow, how do we be present to this in a way that becomes an invitation rather than a resistance or a polarization and all that stuff? Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So that's what, to me, I see, if something beautiful is going to come out of this, it has to come out of, an integration and really meeting this aspect of consciousness that's been disowned or pushed away or made wrong and all that stuff. It's just okay, yeah. I see. Yeah.
Oh, wow, this is really, wow, this is good, Isaac.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what we're here for. Huh?
Yes.
That's our job, so to speak, in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's getting a release in my digestion system. It's deeply
Yeah,
releasing at the
beautiful.
moment.
Yeah, beautiful. Because, this thing of being, so, yeah, consciousness really closing in on us and then being able to go, okay, I see you, I know that. I see all the patterns that want to go into resistance to it. I see, and I'm here, and you'll see what's appropriate with your mask and what you can do and what you can't do, and where something in you is sovereign. And I'm learning so much. I mean, I'm just it's uh, day by day and inquiring. It's a good opportunity to see a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you, Isaac.
Oh, thank you. Oh. Beautiful. Thanks for bringing that. Hi, video. Jesus.
Hi.
Hey. What do you notice as we're sitting here, Vidas?
Notice there's this kind of thought pattern. There's something about feeling like I need to figure out what to say, like the right thing or something like that.
Yeah, because I can feel like, in a way, we're not. There's not an easy flow. Something is,
Yeah,
organized, kind of like it's not grounded in itself in a easy way. So it's not right or wrong. It's just putting words on something and just watching it. So
yeah. I really been struggling staying in my body.
yeah, I can see. Yeah, something's
Yeah, and it's a bit interesting because as I noticed that, I was like, okay, so there's pain, and then trying to come in and kind of feel the pain, and yeah, I mean, I can notice a discomfort, but it's so strange. It's so powerfully moving out that I would think I could feel a big pain in there, and yet somehow I can't kind of feel it.
yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's just for me, I think it's just useful just to name it.
Yeah.
It's like clear. There's no bad intention. There's just something going on that up to now your system hasn't found a way with it. And so we're here, we're just exploring together. Now you have presence here. You have all of us present with you. But if we don't name it, in a sense, it stays frozen there because it feels frozen. And then, to just, in a sense, without speaking it, it just kind of pushes it more into the frozenness. And now that that's on the table, good, then we can go, we can keep exploring. Nothing right, nothing wrong.
Yeah, I notice it's really scared.
Yeah, I could feel.
And
all of that's welcome, yeah. All of that is so welcome, yeah.
Yeah, that was it. It's like it's really afraid to bring it.
You can feel like your intelligence is now entering it in a slightly different way, which is beautiful. And now it's starting to explore here.
It's like this part of me is furious. This wants to scream to kind of shake everybody out of some delusion.
Yeah, I understand, man. Sure. It's like, is that playing out in a huge way in humanity right now,
Yeah.
Like the people that believe in the whole official narrative about, the whole official COVID narrative. It's so fear-based, and for them, anybody that's not listening to the rules, from their perspective, it feels like they're a threat to their existence. And so they respond existentially, like with such intensity. And then for the people that go, wait a second, look, I've looked up, and I see that the masks, you know, there's so much different information around the masks, whether they work, whether they definitely do reduce your oxygen, and it has implications for your brain and for your functioning, and you know, all that stuff. And when you know, they feel like the people that are participating blindly are sheeple, and that they, by being that, they are threatening their survival. So it's two existential organizations meeting each other.
Yeah.
And so from that perspective, there's no conversation. There's just war, actually. And it's just like you say, that rage of wanting to wake people up. It's just like, fuck, man, wake up. But
I spoke to a friend. Yeah, I just spoke to a friend yesterday, and then something hit me, and I think it's part of what's going on. It's like, so he's a smart guy, but he's totally on this, official narrative kind of thing, and he was really kind of trying to convince me that, you know, that he looked into it, and what he saw is that we don't know anything, so we shouldn't know anything, and I could feel and it's in my system, like this trying to bring me down. Don't think, like you don't know anything, so to kind of close this ability. And then I realized that because I've been wondering, like with these smart friends of mine, like who are really smart, who are on this side, like how can this be happening? Because just looking at these basic statistics, you could immediately see that there's something off, and they're not seeing it. And they're
it's the difficulty is, you see, the official narrative is fear-based. I mean, severely fear-based.
Yeah.
So when that gets touched, if that's the source of information, we lose access to our cortex. We lose access to our common sense. Everything revolves around a survival instinct, and it's rationalized and it's justified. And like you said, then it's not a curious investigation. Okay, we maybe have different points of view, but let's really explore it. It goes into an argument. When nothing happens. You either agree or you disagree, and it's just a fight. So for me,
I notice with me, like what is happening for me, it's triggering me somehow to this pattern that I'm not allowed to be in my heart, like in my truth, and I say.
Yes. And in your knowing, in your common sense knowing, just look, there's something, I don't even need facts, I don't even need figures, I don't need any experts. In my system, there's something off. I know it, I feel it. It's like there's no doubt.
Yeah.
Okay, so then,
And I'm noticing that there is this pull in me now that triggered, and because for me, this is kind of just an intense repeat of my whole life being in Iceland.
Yeah, I understand.
Look,
this is the same dynamic has been going on.
Yes, my whole life.
It's now more extreme that we can see it. So
Yeah.
it's an opportunity in it. I mean, I so can recognize what's happening in you. I know it well in myself. I think we're all navigating it to however we're navigating it.
Yeah.
And so you're not alone in it. You have community here. We all kind of, I see that you know. I see that your intuition is accurate and clear. And, it's like now it's a thing of staying with your own knowing, regardless of people like you or dislike you or agree or disagree. You just know what you know, and that's it. Finished.
That's kind of my pain, because this system was told, or felt like it was being told that I was not allowed to be in my heart.
And
now people are basically telling me that with different words, and this reaction is being triggered, and I am leaving my heart. And
Yeah, yeah.
and
I don't think you're leaving your. I don't think you're leaving your heart. It's like the triggering that's happened in this dynamic, which is now coming up to be seen, is what
yes,
causes that movement. So it's an opportunity, Vidas. It's a big opportunity. Don't, not trying to stay in your heart. Just, oh, wow, what is that? How does it function? So you start to see it. You start to see how it functions. It's not wrong. It's not bad. It's how your system has survived till now. We've, as a species, we've had to survive some horrific shit. And yeah, so we're coming back for that now. And little by little, baby steps, being gentle with ourselves. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That feels a little easier, huh?
Yeah.
Wonderful. I'm just feeling if this little Sangha can start to surf some of these waves that humanity is facing at that time, how does that affect the field? Yes. Mm. Yeah.
Thank you, Rasa.
Mm. Nice to get to explore with you, Vidas.
Same to you so much.
Isaac?
Yeah.
Hi. Miriam.
Miriam. Hey, Miriam.
Hi. I recognize a lot of what is mentioned about and trying to talk to people about, your truth about this.
Mm.
And I don't do that a lot anymore, and I just talk to close friends if they ask, and then I give them.
Mm.
But what I noticed, because it can feel very powerless, because I love to help others, and it feels the powerlessness is a tricky thing, because if I don't do anything,
For sure.
it doesn't feel
for sure.
to do nothing.
Yes.
So what I found out for myself, and that's what I want to share with everybody, is that I just do a lot of investigation for years already. And right now I'm looking at really dark stuff about child abuse and really things I didn't want to see before.
Mm.
And I just look at it and just be with it, not too much. I just stay in my own good vibe, try to be there, stay there, and just take it in and just investigate, and just how the power dynamics work in myself and in the world and in the abuse, all kinds of abuse, and just really feel it.
Mm.
I want to share this because it's not heavy. I feel very blessed. I can do it because I can be with it.
Mm.
And I just don't accept it in myself. I just keep my frequency high and just be in love. Try to be in love in myself and just shine. Don't accept it in myself anymore. And it gives me such a powerful feeling, and it's such power and such not powerlessness anymore. And that's something we all can do with ourselves, just to go inside.
I think you're part of a lot of people that are exploring in that way, Miriam. Yeah. I can tell you what might be a next step for you is to, I know in Netherlands, I know all over the world, people are starting to organize, and people are starting to come together in communities, and not anti anything, but really with new visions. How can we, how can we move through this next phase? Because it's, I tell you, these are early days, and there's some quite strong stuff coming that we're going to have to surf together, and it'll be a lot easier in communities. And I'm not saying that to scare people, I'm saying that to inspire you to find like-minded people.
Thank you for
to start to.
For me, it's a little bit different because I've done that for years. I built up lots of communities in Holland about radiation in big cities and the whole Netherlands. And I talked to a lot of political, high up government people. So I've done that for years. And I got really isolated because I was completely, they put me off Facebook and Instagram. They threw me all my accounts away half a year ago. And I was completely shocked and isolated because nobody believed it was so unreal. But people start seeing it now because it's happening to a lot of people. So
so you know, like, so that's what I'm saying. Your function before was to bring information to people. I'm saying, if you can, start bring these organizational talents that you have into really organizing community, self-sustaining community that are looking at planting food together, saving seeds together, how you can bring your various talents together in a way, whether you live, you know, a lot of times there's government ground that you're allowed to use to grow food on, and just there's so much you can start exploring. We, as a community here, it's starting to happen, and it's, for me, it's very inspiring.
Yeah,
I can say that.
Thank you. I have a vegetable garden, and I have a greenhouse, and
But even around that, you can organize with neighbors. Look, you know, what are you growing? What am I doing? Yeah. So just
I tried. For me, it's all fine. Nothing needs to be different. That's my point. For me, I'm just fine with it because I try to organize a barbecue here in the neighborhood because everybody's so. I'm living in the woods now, and people are a little bit conservative here, and I miss the community, sense of community. So I organized a big party. I was like, yeah, let's build some community here. But everybody said no in the end because of the corona. So I don't want to share because there's a problem. I just want to share because it feels so good that I can do my work inside of me and just feel like I, how you say, bijdrage, contribute to the world. even if
Yeah.
I'm isolating.
I understand. Yeah, no, I understand.
It feels so great to be able to be like that, radiate, even if you're feeling stuck or whatever.
I understand. I understand.
I just what I wanted to share with you all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Miriam.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. Here we are. Surfing this beautiful life together in community, meeting with each other. Yeah. I appreciate you all showing up. And wow. Yeah. Strong times, huh? Big love to all. Who was you were the host tonight, Pavitra? Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Wishing you well, Afia. May the rest of yeah. Yeah, ciao for now.